the boxer versus the puncher. It's the big guy versus the little guy. It's the fan favorite against the villain.
He's a bum. He's a C+ fighter. Overrated.
He's a little boy. He forgets about that. He deserves a good spanking.
June 25th, that's my day.
Floyd Mayweather is the most gifted fighter in the world, bar none.
Pretty boy Floyd, lifestyle so flashy. I'm the best, the creme de la creme.
Brilliant, clean, hard shots for Pretty Boy Floyd.
Arturo Gatti is the most exciting fighter in all boxing. It's not even close.
Arturo Gatti. Oh, what a drama.
I'm gonna take him somewhere he's never been.
Gotti's a vicious fighter. He goes in there to go to war. He's willing to die.
Look at Arturo firing that broken right hand.
Do I care about Arturo Gatti? No. And do I respect him as a fighter? No.
He thinks I'm a joke. I just want to punish him. I really want to hurt him. I was born in Montreal, Canada. My parents are Italian. Montreal is a little like Europe, you know, everybody speaks 3-4 languages. I speak mostly Italian and, of course, French because we went to French school.
Di punta alta l'ha fatta, ma era sempre amica, tutti gli volevano bene, era bravo.
My father was Giovanni Gatti. He was an electrician, a very hard-working man. Loved boxing.
Molte come suo papà. Molto. È brava, mi assai...
He liked to come to the gym, work out, fool around with the boys, tease them. They used to chase him around the ring. They couldn't catch him.
He was not the one who liked discipline the most. He was talented, he was winning, but he had his own agenda. It was like, look, we just have fun here. It's like we enjoy life.
I know he had the utmost respect for his dad, and he loved him very much. And I know he took it hard, and he made him tougher.
After my father died, I took some time and to think what I'm going to do, you know. That's when I decided that boxing would have bring me money and make a career out of it.
Perché gli piaceva, a suo padre gli piaceva molto la boxe, allora lui ha pensato e voleva raggiungere la mentalità del suo padre, allora si è incoraggiato per continuare la boxe.
His record was somewhere around 86-14 as an amateur. He had 6 Canadian Golden Glove titles.
I was all right in the amateurs until internationally when that score system came out. The white part of the glove has got to touch the opponent. Then I started having trouble, you know, because like here the guys with longer arms just scored the pity pat, like pretty much like what Mayweather does.
He wanted to go to the Olympic game. But when he fought at the national championship that year, he lost against a guy who has been 10-time Canadian champion. After that fight, Arturo said, look, I can't beat that guy, so I won't be able to qualify myself. So because of that, I decided to turn pro. And I remember I told him then, no, Arturo, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. But I think I was wrong.
224-77, a superstar was born.
Well, that's my boy. I raised him because he was a little boy that I cherished. He didn't have too much of time to be a little boy growing up because he stayed in the gym so much.
I was an average kid. You know, I didn't finish school. I do math good. I'm good with numbers. I can count some money. That's what I can do.
Floyd was a fighter from the earliest days. Floyd's father took him to boxing shows. He had him shadow box from the time he was 2 years old. He was kind of like Tiger Woods. You know, Tiger Woods had a golf club in his hand at 18 months, and Floyd Mayweather had boxing gloves in his hand at 18 months. He was groomed solely to be a boxer.
He knows how to win, and he has the pedigree of the same thing that we all had to make great fighters. He comes from that background.
Floyd Mayweather Sr. was a very good defensive fighter. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard, gave Ray Leonard a difficult fight.
My dad, he wasn't a big puncher, he was real fast. And my Uncle Roger, he stuck to the basics and can hit.
His Uncle Roger trains him right now. Roger was a world champion. He was a very big puncher.
Black Mama had the big right hand. Tough fighter, good fighter.
Floyd is not known as a huge puncher, but he has a great right hand. If Floyd hits you, he can hurt you. He's proven that in a number of his fights, and that's very similar to Roger Mayweather. When you see the shoulder rolls and the way he maneuvers about the ring, that's his father.
My dad was my trainer from the age of 10 until I was 16. I was forced into boxing. Boxing is not nothing that I wanted to do. Boxing was forced on me. If I had one bad day, he was always on my case. You know, always on my back. Stand on me. You're not doing good. It's not good enough. And you know, what I never liked when I was a kid is that it was never good enough. And then he left. You know, 'cause my dad got locked up. And once he got locked up, my career blossomed. I went to '96 Olympic Games. I received a bronze medal. I can't say I won a bronze medal because you can't win a bronze or win a silver. You receive because you lost.
At that point, he was bitter, and he felt like the system was against him. And that was something that we saw throughout his career, that he had that kind of feeling, me against the establishment. And Floyd, I think he used that anger and that disappointment to fuel him in his pro career.
The thing about Floyd that I look at is when he came out of the Olympics in '96, he made a choice. He could have gone the Sugar Ray Leonard route. He had a great smile, a tremendous talent, huge ability. He could have been a big superstar. But for whatever reason, he embraced the darker side and went running with the bad crowd, and it's come back to haunt him.
I moved to Jersey City. I was 19 years old, turned professional.
Jersey is a blue-collar state, period. You know, we're a garden state and there's nice trees and all, but the people there are blue-collar. Our politics is tough. New Jerseyans are tough.
Jersey City's a tough town, and he fit right in.
After my first pro fight, I got a $5,000 signing bonus, and I went shopping. It was like, wow. And they bought me a Jeep. It was the coolest thing that ever happened to me in my life. And it was great, you know, and I knew that was the way to go.
Masterful performance by Arturo Gatti. Down goes Patterson on an uppercut.
For the winner and new junior lightweight champion of the world.
When he won the title from Tracy Patterson, he looked superb. I mean, he boxed great. You know, he fought a great fight.
Wilson Rodriguez fight is what started the legend.
Gatti getting a little boxing lesson here in round one.
He got dropped in the second round.
Gatti goes down on a short left hook inside.
Both eyes swollen shut. Go back to the corner. The doctor's talking about stopping the fight, holding up fingers, seeing if he could still see.
And Gatti's got a huge mouse under his left eye.
Yeah, of course I got scared. I had ordered a car that I couldn't afford back then, and when I went down, I'm like, oh shit, there goes the car.
He comes back out.
Tide has turned, tide has turned. Here comes Gatti.
Arturo chased him around the ring and wound up knocking him out.
Down goes Rodriguez. What a left hook.
That was like fight of the year. It was just amazing.
You'll never see better drama for a young prospect on his way to superstardom.
I think that's when everybody got to see, wow, this is a kid that just doesn't quit.
And now enters Arturo Gatti.
The Ruel's fight, awesome fight. The ultimate comeback.
Hard shot by Ruelas.
Gatti's hurt bad.
Gatti stumbles.
Ruelas is the only fight I would say that really hurt me, like physically.
Oh, good
Battle
shot.
of uppercuts, both men landing.
They were going toe-to-toe, and it looked like Ruelas hurt him. Arturo's knees buckled, and the fight could have went any way. And all of a sudden, Arturo lands this thunderous left hook. In one shot, the fight was over. A gentleman stood up right by our corner and said, that kid is the most exciting TV fighter ever.
Can you believe Arturo
Gatti? Oh, what a drama.
That's who I am, you know, and I always say I'm an animal. Guys like me don't come around too often, you know. I'm different from a lot of guys. You're not gonna see for a long time someone like me. I fight to the end, and I can take just as much as I can give.
People love the fact that he would go out there and get cut, you know what I mean, and swollen and score a late round knockout. And that's what it became.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought left-handers, he fought tall guys, he fought punchers, he fought boxers, and he really was exposed at a very early pro age to a bunch of different styles. And because of that, Floyd was able to adapt to anything in the ring.
Floyd is the kind of boxer that you appreciate if you like the Muhammad Ali pretty style, a lot of fanciness surrounding the fight with the chinchillas and the minks, and then goes in the ring and takes care of business.
Brilliant, clean, hard shots for Pretty Boy Floyd.
He's always risen to the occasion, and his best fights, his most difficult fights have been his best fights.
I'll step up to the plate. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And I've been climbing that ladder for a long time.
That's gloves, let's go to work.
Floyd Mayweather went out there and took apart Genaro Hernandez. Floyd showed the boxing skills that really people talked about when they said he's going to be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. He made Hernandez fight when he didn't want to fight, and he just had the fight from a tactical standpoint. He was moving at the shoulders, moving at the waist, and he just presented a very elusive target to Hernandez. Hernandez could never mount an attack against him.
The undefeated WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the world, Floyd Mayweather.
When he fought Diego Corrales, the thought was, well, he's in there with a big banger, a much bigger guy. He's going to have a lot of trouble. He destroyed Diego Corrales. He destroyed him. He had just completely dominated the guy.
Fifth knockdown of the fight, fifth knockdown of Corrales' career.
Corrales is not even on the same level as me as a fighter.
First into the ring, Jose Luis Castillo.
He stood in there twice with Jose Castillo, who has tons of knockouts. He took the best that Castillo had to offer. This is a hardened, professional, veteran, championship-level fighter.
There's no question that Floyd gets up for the big fights. I mean, he's a guy that, because he has such an ego, I think a lot of it is fueled by ego.
Some of the guys I beat, they mentally messed up to this day.
That's why he wants to fight the Jose Luis Castillos, the Diego Corrales, and now the Arturo Gattis.
You can mark my word to this. I'll be the only fighter that's won 4 world titles in 4 different weight classes in under 10 years. That haven't been done.
Gatti went through a little bit of a down stage where he did lose 3 fights in a row. The first fight of that series of losses was against Angel Manfredi.
Down goes Gatti on a perfect left hook.
And the Ivan Robinson first fight was the fight of the year. You know, back and forth action for 10 rounds. Just an incredible, high pace, fast fight. The crowd loved it.
Huge 9th round for Ivan Robinson, trying to finish Arturo Gatti off.
And it was so good that a few months later they did it again.
Ivan Robinson, a great fighter. It's a hard style for me to fight against, but those were the years of my, and I was going nuts those years.
His father told him years ago when he was growing up is, listen, you can't be a fighter and a rock star. You got to be one or the other. You can't live both lives.
I was making money, I was going out, I was just having a good time. You can't achieve or you can't perform the way you're supposed to.
The Manfredi fight, the 2 Robinson fights, there was three losses in a row there, and he was not doing the right thing in the gym. But it was a rough time for all of us, it really was.
Oscar De La Hoya may dare to be great. Arturo Gatti has dared to be brave.
He was going to get a nice payday to fight Oscar De La Hoya, and thanks for the memories, thanks for everything you've given all of us, and goodbye.
Tremendous combination by De La Hoya. Gatti hanging in, but how much more of this can Arturo take?
I remember covering that fight and being in Las Vegas, and the talk in the press room and around all the boxing people was, this is Gatti's bouquet for giving us so many great fights. Take your $1.8 million payday. Hope he doesn't get hurt.
And the towel comes in from Gatti's corner, and De La Hoya has a 5th round TKO.
Put on a great show and walk off into the sunset.
He never felt that way. He knew he had a lot more to give. He then wanted to make changes.
Don't come up with the jab. Stay right there, jab right from there. Pop, pop.
To find Buddy McGirt at that point in his career was like something sent from God.
I said to him, you can do one of two things when you leave the gym. You can go back to your hotel and worry about having bruises on your face, or you can go play golf because you're not getting hit in the gym. And he said, well, I want to play golf. I said, all right, so let's get in there and move that head and work on certain things. Add the hook now. Right.
I knew he had to change his lifestyle. If he was going to change his lifestyle and start putting 100% into the training part of it and the physical part of it, then I knew he'd be okay. Arturo always said, once I fight somebody just like myself in the ring, man, it's going to be a hell of a war in some fight. And he met that match in Mickey Ward.
Arturo Gatti refusing to go down as Mickey Ward pounds away. Vicious body shots by Gatti. Ward nods as if to say, come on, let's fight. This should be the round of the century.
He had the perfect foil in Mickey Ward, slugging each other.
They're doing it again in Atlantic City. Great uppercut by Gatti. Ward is stunned once again.
Him and Mickey Ward were made for each other like Ali Frazier. They bring out the best in each other.
Look at Arturo firing that broken right hand. Mickey Ward stunned by a left hook. And they rise again in Boardwalk Hall. They're done.
3 fights in a row, 2 guys laying on gurneys next to each other.
What's interesting is that with the 3 wars that he had with Mickey Ward, usually a fighter loses something in those kinds of fights. You know, they're never really the same. They lose a little speed and quickness, a little heart, a little courage. But he's actually gotten better.
Good left hook to the body by Gatti, and Doreen goes down. Another knockout victory for Arturo Gatti.
Pull, roll, catch. Floyd is at his best in the ring. Outside the ring, he's not pound for pound the best. That's why many people like Gatti and not Floyd.
Vegas is everything. When I say Vegas is everything, 24-hour gambling, 24-hour clubs, 24-hour strip clubs.
To me, Floyd's a sad case. I mean, this is a guy who really could be the guy now. Good-looking guy, articulate, all the skills, speed, a great story. But instead, Floyd chose this role of being a gangster, this gangster image, and it really turned people off.
It's really hard for me to keep a girlfriend because the girls don't really like me because they say I go to the strip club too much. But that's what I like to do. That's me. I don't hide nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing. That's what I like to do. I love strip clubs.
Well, he's the master of bling bling. He's got all the rings and all the jewelry and the nice cars, and I mean that's his thing. He thinks that he has all that stuff on. It makes him a better man, a bigger person.
Yeah, I got a lot of money. I got millions. I like to party, enjoy life. You know, I like the finer things. Like I'm flashy. I like expensive clothes. I'm a cash cow. I'm a money sign when I go in the club. They know it. They see when I pull up. They see them Bentleys. They see them Ferraris. They see that ice. They know how I am. They don't like me. They know I'm cocky. I can't help it. It's in my nature. That's what makes me Pretty Boy Floyd.
He goes to clubs and places where at least somebody wants to prove that they're a tougher guy than Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd's unfortunately happy to engage them in those kinds of things. So most of his outside the ring problems really have been of his own creation.
I mean, it's so many club cases. It's crazy.
A bar fight is one thing. The accusations of hitting women, especially the woman who's given birth to your children, those are serious things.
Floyd has had several instances of domestic violence. He's been accused by a former girlfriend who is the mother of one of his children of beating her up, and it's happened on several occasions. They've had a very stormy relationship over the years, and it's gotten into the public, and Floyd's gotten arrested for it. He claims that he's never been guilty.
If a woman get crazy, get drunk and tear stuff up in my house, the stuff that I work hard for, and I grab her and hold her, if you want to call that hitting a woman, then, well, I hit a woman. But I'm not gonna let no woman, break my stuff, tear my stuff up. Because, it's been blood, sweat, and tears to get to where I'm at, to give all my stuff up for a woman.
It's pretty much public knowledge that he has had problems with putting his hands on women. And Arturo's made that known, that that's one of the things that motivates Arturo, is that this guy is a wife beater.
With all these cases, I've never been in jail. At the end of the day, it's all about what can you pay and how much money they can get out of me. You know, lawyers that made, you know, with all these lawyer fees and all this stuff going on, I wish I would have paid all these people off.
Frankly, the sort of mercurial nature of Floyd Mayweather caused a lot of difficulty. The fight was going to be the 10th of June, and then it wasn't going to be at all.
He was accused in Grand Rapids of participating in a bar fight and kicking somebody in the head.
I'm upset, mad as hell, because I pleaded a no contest to something I know I didn't do. I know I didn't do it, and the guy know I didn't do it. He know it, but it all got to do with money.
That's his story, that the reason why he pled was because he wanted to fight. He knew if he tried to take it to trial and prove his innocence, then, you know, that would jeopardize the fight, because Gatti has a leverage, because he knows he can sell 12,000 tickets at Boardwalk Hall, regardless of who he fights. So that was sort of the hammer over Mayweather's head to get his situation rectified as quickly as possible.
I think he was just stalling me, you know, because he was trying to play games. I kept going to my manager's office and asking him, did he sign? Nope. Did he sign? Nope. And one day I said, you know what? He's out. I'll find someone else. I don't need him. So that's why I pulled out. The next thing you know, day or two, he signed.
I love the fans. I love the people. And June 25th, that's my date. June 25th is my date.
He pled no contest in order to get this fight made. And that enraged Mayweather. As long as I've known him, I've never seen him angrier. And I think that anger is going to really be evident in this fight, because he really does not like Arturo Gatti, and he thinks Arturo Gatti put him through the ringer. I think he wants to make him pay because of that. It's the boxer versus the puncher. It's the big guy versus the little guy. It's the fan favorite against the villain.
If you just look at the styles and the age difference and the speed difference, you know, you would have to lean toward Mayweather.
He's unbelievably fast with his hands. He moves well with his feet. He's a very smart fighter in the ring, and his defense is the best in the business.
He's so quick with his head and shoulders, and he's standing right in front of you, and you can't hit him.
What he does in the gym, the foot speed, the hand speed, the rope jumping, those are the skills that he will bring into the ring, and those are the skills that I think that Arturo Gatti will find too much to handle.
I know a lot of people don't believe that I can win this fight, but I'll forgive them, because I'm a nice guy.
A lot of it comes down to things other than how fast you move and how slick you look and how big your entourage is, and all those things have nothing to do with it, because when the first bell rings, it's an entourage of one. You know, it's you against Gatti, and Gatti is there to kill you. And the most dangerous thing about Arturo is he's willing to die himself in the process.
Mayweather is going to have to just do everything he can possibly do to keep Gatti off him, to use his incredible hand speed and foot speed and his ring smarts, and use his angles and try to frustrate Gatti a little bit and hotshot him when he gets a chance offensively. And if Floyd can do that, he'll win a decision. If he can't stand up to the thunder, then he's getting knocked out.
I think Gotti's going to catch him. And when Gatti catches him with one of those punches, that's going to be the moment of truth.
Floyd Mayweather has won his fights doing one thing, fighting the Mayweather style. Tucking the chin and hand speed, good, not knocking him for that. But what happens when he has to change and do something different?
He's fighting the best boxer in the world. Throw all them boxing shit out the window. Just go for broke, that's the only chance you get.
I've been in more emergency rooms with Arturo Gatti than with my own kids. It's amazing, really. And he accepts it. And when he gets Mayweather in there, Mayweather's going to be asked to accept the same thing. Are you willing to pay the price?
If Arturo lands a hard punches to the body, Floyd's going to feel that. And that can begin to slow the fight down a little bit.
If he has to die, I'm quite sure he'd rather die in the ring. Was Floyd willing to do that? Minks can't help you do that. The Minks ain't gonna help you. Your friends can't help you. His uncle can't help him. Can't nobody help him. It's just you and Arturo in there.
I'm gonna expose him, because this guy is getting free money. This guy's getting free money. He's fighting nobody, he's fighting bums.
Floyd's people are going to be the Floyd people, and Gotti's people are going to be the Gotti's people, the blue collar, the Jersey crowd. And Floyd's going to bring in the little chinchillas and the Armani sunglasses and suits and things like that.
No one's coming to see Floyd. Only one's coming to see Floyd is the people that he's got in his training camp. That's it. Everybody else in that arena is going to be there for Arturo.
He was a real fighter, he'd have wanted this fight on mutual grounds. But I ain't the type to cry, I ain't the type to complain.
It's not going to be a happy place for him. He's not going to Disneyland. You know, he's going to hell. And then he's going to decide how far he wants to walk through the flames to win the fight.
This guy's a straight bum. This guy's overrated.
Everywhere I go, in this place, in this room, I can see Mayweather. 'Cause I can't wait till the 25th. I go to the bathroom, I see Mayweather. I want to make sure I see him all the time. I would like to make this fight go 12 rounds and beat the living shit out of him. He deserves a good spanking. He's a little boy, he forgets about that.
Do I care about Arturo Gatti? No.
He thinks I'm a joke, you know?
Do I respect him as a fighter? No.
I just want to punish him. I really want to hurt him.
They'll have to take Gatti on stretcher. He will not quit on Floyd Mayweather. Nobody's questioning that. The question becomes, will Floyd Mayweather be able to do or is willing to do whatever it takes to get past this guy?
And I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck.